My name's Jared Mees. We're at the Buffalo Chip TT here in Sturgis, and this is my pit area. This door right here goes into the motorhome part, which is the living quarters part. Little table here, bathroom, refrigerator, normal old stuff, couple beds that pull out. Kind of your typical normal old motorhome, honestly. And the two mechanics that are on the team, Kenny Tolbert and Bubba, they basically live in the thing when they're on the road and at the racetrack. And they come from Texas, so I come from Michigan or Florida. And so I usually just grab a motel or something like that. But it's home for them guys. Got our lower storage boxes here that we keep all of our spare parts, things we might need. Yeah, sprockets and flat tracks. Changing sprockets is actually probably one of the most #1 things you change on race day to get the gear ratio right for the racetrack. Even though you might go from 1 mile to the next just because of the surface changing, and not every mile is perfectly the same size, and sometimes they're different shapes, bigger corners, wider corners, narrows, so gearing really plays a big part in flat track racing. So, typically, honestly, a lot of racers will probably be on the same brand bike. For an Indian example, would probably be within about 2 teeth of each other out on the racetrack, maybe 3. So, I think everybody usually has about the same feel and look for gearing, and you try to show up on race day with it as close as possible, but you always can adjust it. It takes about 10-15 minutes tops to change a gear. That's if you're slow. Jimmy Wood here, he's my suspension technician. He's from California.
How y'all doing?
He's tuning on a set of forks, getting them ready. On the TTs, we run a special fork, an upside down conventional, or upside down type fork like that. On the half miles and miles, we run more of your conventional, older looking fork, 43mm fork. One bike we just call the A bike, B bike. We try to come to the races with our, plan of we're going to ride this bike, and if we have a problem with it, we jump on the backup bike, so to speak. But this bike here today is going to probably be our A bike, and try to make it work. And if we have a problem with it, we'll jump on the B bike.
So do you set up one bike different than the other at any point?
No, they're pretty similar, honestly. We've done a lot of testing and homework to where we know what we like at certain tracks, so we usually try to set the bikes up to be pretty similar. In the early stages with the Indian, we had one bike set up one way, one bike set up the other way, and we tried both bikes in practice, and with whatever bike was better, we ran with. But now that we kind of got a pretty good handle on things, we have a good idea what we're looking for, so we show up pretty prepared, I feel like. I have 2 full-time guys, and then the suspension guys on the weekends. And then Craig Rogers is the team owner of the deal. So got Kenny and Bubba. They're from Texas. They've been we've been working together for a while now, and they basically take care, maintain the bikes week in and week out, and we've got a strong program.
Cool.
Got 2 Bell helmets here. I usually try to have 2 helmets ready to go at all times, just in case you have a problem, or sometimes on a real hot day, one will get pretty sweaty in the inside, so I'll jump to the other one. So that's how I do it. I always got 2 sets of everything, 2 sets of Alpine Star leathers, 2 sets of Alpine Star boots, steel shoes, gloves. You just never know when you have to run into a glitch and you need something real quick, so you want to have everything on hand, second to make it happen real quick. You want a second pair of everything, I feel like. So got a lot of shields here. Some orange ones, some dark smoke ones for when it's pretty sunny out. Clear ones, of course, for the nighttime. Got our tear-offs, which tear-off is when we get dirt on our shields. We rip a tear off, we get a basically clean new vision for a second. It's kind of like a quick wiper. This track will typically get really dry in areas, and then the track in the area that we race on gets really hard and black, and that's the spot you got to stay on, because if you venture off of it, it gets really dry and dusty and hard to pass. 8 o'clock tonight's main event is scheduled, and what to expect? I expect to win.
Right on, man.